Welcome to the George FTTV YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss trade plans for this week, and we'll discuss rookies, trade outs, and whatnot, targets, all that sort of stuff. So more specific for not just my team, but for everyone. So if you want my input, then this will be the video. So should be good. But my own trades this week. Now I think we should be targeting top of the line players, but we got a big problem because certainly for me, the players we want to fill the lines in, and I guess if you have more trades, you can just keep getting discounted guys and then flip them later. Whereas maybe for me on low trades, maybe I should just be patient. I'm not sure, but in defense, I want Sinclair, Nass, and Midfield. Right now, I only have room for one once Rosie goes back. Maybe I can flip one of them to a Saints player, but definitely want Whitfield. And like in the midfield, like Merritt was my target coming in the next few weeks. I think he's high break, 150 break even, Jordan tag potentially in 2 weeks, and then pops a 170, and all of a sudden you're thinking, I'm going to get him for 550, now he's going to go to 600, so Merritt's expensive, Neil's getting away from us, we missed that boat. Well, you can still get him this week, but probably should have went last week. Bond Butters obviously too. So then if you don't have a Nick or an Andy, you probably want them as well. Rucks, you want Sherry, you want Gorn, pretty obvious. Forwards, there's probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 that you're content with. I'm not sure if Marich is there. I'm not sure if Daniel's in that as well, but they're fine for the time being. This is what I've done. Very sidewaysy, and Sherry's got a 131 break even, so he's popped 2 80s in a row. One of them was he was cramping, so didn't really touch in the fourth quarter, I think, so could have scored more, and got destroyed this game. So this is a hold, to be honest. But I'm trading because he has to go on his buy anyway, because it's a bad buy for most people, and not a keeper. So I figure we can grab players while they're at their lowest, or roughly, so. And not only that, my fear with Cherry is it blows up at some point, so. And Daniel I'm getting rid of. I think since Sheasel's gone back there, since Hardeman's gone back, his outputs, I think his DT averages like 77, and he's a bit reliant on getting the kick-ins at the moment. Whether he gets dropped or not, I'm not sure. I think that's maybe just me manifesting from watching him play, thinking, and reading supporters' comments, but I don't know if it happens. Both are very, very highly owned, especially Daniel. So I'm going to jump off sort of a pod play. Warner's CBAs are up by 10% on last year in the last 3. So I did have doubts about Warner, but if the role's improved, then how badly can it go? Like it did 103 off 64% CBAs last year. Now it's at 75. Does that stay? Does Mills come in? Like who knows? So you think Mills does at some point, but they've got McInerney taking 50% of CBAs. So I think the CBAs will roughly hold or be good enough if they do drop a little bit. So, and he's one that can get to 600k. He can also come back to 450. That's the Chad Warner experience. So, I think these matchups are good as well. Essendon, Carlton, Melbourne, Adelaide, Richmond. So I think I like his run too. So they're my 2 at the moment. Like I wouldn't really bother with Josh. I think you'd rather Sinclair probably at a similar price after this week, maybe like 520 or whatever if he goes 100 this week. So, but that buy really sucks for us. So, we'll see. Bit of a break-even game as well. So, they're my trades. I'm not sure they're good, to be honest. But the Chad versus Daniel play will hopefully be okay. And we'll just set up on field. So we'll line up. So So Elijah's playing Richmond. And Huswaite's playing Melbourne. Huswaite's probably fighting for his life, or not life, but spot in the team, I should say. We'll see. I think Ross might come back shortly, so I don't know if we'll get him as a loop. And Lindsay's banned from being fielded when we've got other options, so we'll just, although Lindsay could easily pull out a good one, so that's how we'll line up. I think the lineup's good enough. I mean, we keep getting smacked by Gorn, so hopefully that's not too bad. And then I think VC, we're going to VC Andy. I think the reason why I like Andy Sarong and Clark is like they got the characters. They're super competitive and consistent for the most part. For the most part, they're very consistent players. So you can see like Sarong seems to be like, I don't know, he's texting the coach stuff and saying like, we back you in and whatever. Like he's like, they're all dialed in. So I think they'll respond. But yeah. So I think Fremantle should have a good opportunity against Collingwood for a 5-day break here, and they're going to need Andy to do a big job. No Pendlebury. Maybe like Pendlebury could have done a job on Sarong like he does to Cripps usually. So I'm not really sure what they're thinking. Andy VC, and our C will be probably Sherry into Omac. I'd have to go look at what Omac's given up to double check, but that's the plan at this stage. But yes, so I think first thing we'll talk about is rookies. And we need to plan ahead here. So, late news, I guess because it's the early game. What are we looking for? Break-evens. Alright, so we have Erasmus. Now, Nathan O'Driscoll, I believe, should be back next week. They've used O'Driscoll on the inside when they've had injuries. Does he come in straight in for Erasmus? That's my concern here. There's a lot of potential because he had a massive game in the Waffle Grand Final last year, I think. So it's just, it seems they don't believe in Erasmus, but they've pretty much had to give him opportunity. Will Brodie's not putting up good numbers. So I don't know what's happened there. We know that I thought he was fine a few years ago. He had his haters, but yeah, has his issues with like time on ground and whatnot, and versatility and whatever. But look, it's Erasmus's chance now. Could you trade him in? Well, I don't know if he holds or not, so I'm gonna skip. There's potential that this is a good one, but I think we've got other ones coming up that we can just take with a bit more safety. But yeah. So Lorenz, obviously like Erasmus is a much better scorer, but Lorenz could be one. I didn't watch this game, but I think Boak's out TBC, so I think it's his spot for now. And we know Ken likes to play the Rooks. I guess Boxall's a pretty simple one. Oops, that's my Pokemon Pocket list that I need. Boxall. Does Boxall hold when Philippou comes out? That's my concern. So I'm not going this week. I'm waiting one on Boxall. Hardman's 190k. You could go there. I think his job security is really good. Dudley's as well. I think his job security is good. A little bit expensive. That price is too much for me. Probably just. There's Fonte as well. So it looks like Fonte has Stone's spot, and I've said a few times that, I think I said it in my video and on the podcast, Whitfield was on radio pre-season, said that spot is between Stone and Fonte for Perryman, Perryman's old spot, and I believe Fonte, I think he was suspended at the start of the year, so maybe it's his spot now, because Stone was actually alright the week before he got dropped, so I think they like Fonte's. Numbers in the twos aren't massive, so yeah, he's a little bit expensive, so anyone that's expensive, I'm kind of like okay skipping because it's hurting an upgrade, but at the same time, you'll get that money back at some point as long as it doesn't get in the way. I'm not sure if there's anything else. Oh, and looks like there's going to be a debutant, Hayes, so that's for the future. So Ridley's out for a while. That means the tools are Reed and Mackay back there, and the third tool. Well, I don't know. I think McKay's probably going to take the 1A key forward, but I'm not sure if Hayes or Zach Reed is the third or whatnot. Second or third, I don't know. But regardless, I think he's pretty much got that spot, you would think. And he's 105 DT in the VFL is Lewis Hayes. Yeah, so he's debuting. I will not mention that West Coast player's name, even though he's in my team, because Eno told me to stop. So in terms of rookies, like, who are you going for? Well, I'm not grabbing a rookie this week. Oh, obviously Huswaite. Yeah. I say that because I went early, but, This week, it's these two. You go Huswaite. You could go Erasmus. It's just a gamble whether he holds or not. We know he's got the scoring power. What's the role? What's the sub risk? This could go really well. This could go, he could get subbed and not see the team again. So I think you can go for it if he's not subbed. Because I think they've got Cooper Simpson. I think he was a rookie last year. Oh, he's a base rook. Still. Oh. Well, we can just see how he goes. So he's a future one. So if you need a rookie, you go Huswaite this week. Pretty obvious. I think Mackenzie was 1 to 2 weeks, I think. So look, he could be dropped in 2 weeks, but he's going to make a decent amount of cash. So I think I would go there. And you can probably field him too. The role's good. He's getting 35 plus in the VFL in terms of disposals. Erasmus, again, I don't know if he's sub or whatnot. It's just a bit of a gamble. Lorenz, I didn't watch, so I can't really help you there. But I think looking at the best 22 in the injury list, I think there's definitely scope for him to hold. So he's one you can probably wait on. Boxall, definitely wait when Philippou returns, if it's this week or next week or whatever. And Fonte, I think his JS is good, or job security is good. So if I had to go one this week, Huswaite, if I had to go early on someone, I'd probably just pay for Fonte. And Hayes might be a nice, if you have a Zach Reed 2 weeks, Zach Reed will probably be close to 400k, maybe he's like 380k with a pair of 80s or something. So that means we can go him straight down to Hayes. Might hurt a little bit on field, but we need that cash and cash him in at some point. So why not when there's a decent rookie there, and Cooper Simpson we'll worry about. So Huswaite number 1. I can't bold, whatever. Yeah, again, go Huswaite this week. If you need to go early, go Fonte out of these 3. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Boxall and Lorenz for another week. I have no idea if Lorenz is sub, and because I never use Stone as a sub, you'd think Fonte's hopefully safe from it, but you never know. Anyway, hopefully that helped a little bit with rookies. I think if you watch the games, you probably have a decent idea anyway. And in terms of targets, we spoke about them on the podcast. Whoops. So defenders, again, like the top. Okay, let's do. How do I get out of this? I'm hopeless at this. I forget there's 2 different filters. Okay, so you're definitely going to want Whitfield at some point. 100% you need Whitfield. You're definitely going to want Sheasel, especially in this halfback role. Now this has given me... I don't want break-evens. Key stats. Get me out of this. Okay, start fresh. So in terms of top 6, so we want Whitfield. Definitely want Whitfield. You want Sheasel. I think you want Nas. I think Nas probably does 105 to 110 this year. Has been kicking a few goals. I don't know if that's sustainable, but I think he'll be top 6. I think if you can get someone not far off, then maybe that will be okay, but you definitely want Nas. Sinclair, he's had a few down weeks. I want to see the turn just because he's 30. I always have it in the back of my mind, could he be regressing? Whitfield's 32, but Sinclair I expect will be fine. So I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. So you probably want these 4. I probably am only going to get... You definitely need these 2. You can't go without. I'll probably try and get one of these at some point. And then as you throw a blanket over, like, who's decent value, I'll tell you what I think they'll average for the rest of the year. Okay, Zorko's an interesting one because Kitty could come back in. But I think I don't know if he's going to actually come back in because Chris Fagan did say he doesn't want to mess up the balance because they're all doing well back then. Yeah, it'd be really stiff to take Jasper Fletcher out of that line. So I think Zorko, if you have him, you keep. If you don't have him, I think you just anti-pod. I think he's reasonably highly owned. 21%, not that high, but I don't know what it's like. Maybe we can sort by... Yeah. I prefer sorting by average, to be honest. Okay, we'll just sort by that. We gotta refresh it again. We're hopeless at this. Yep, average. Okay. So you want these two, you want probably one of these, hopefully both, and then, Zorko should be fine for the rest of the year. Amon looks like he's okay. Never really done it before, so players that haven't done it before, you always worry what their back half looks like. Dale, I'm not that keen on. Bit of a roller coaster. When the good games are really good, the bad games are quite bad. If you have him, I think you're just happy with that, plus his buy sucks, so probably wouldn't go there. He did 92 post-buy last year. It's probably not enough if he repeats that. Plus, you take on soft tissue risk because he's had 2 in the past 18 months, but both were in pre-season. Roberts, 5 round of 95, obviously with Bison in the team. Look, he just went 2-120, so he should average around probably 95 to 100 for the rest of the year. It's probably just enough to keep. And one way you can, if you have the trades, you luxury upgrade. Holmes, maybe not too sure. Wait for the turn. Clark, one really bad one. So I think Clark will be around the marks. I think you'd be happy with him. I mean, I'm happy with him. Bowie, one bad game. Should be okay, but again, never done it before. Noble's a little bit hard to know. Never really done it before. Probably wouldn't go Laird. No, don't think he's getting kick-ins. And then I guess, Josh Dacos is the one I've gone for. Just a nice run for the rest of the year, really. Done 100 before on the wing. Did 90 last year on the wing. So he's a scorer. So, yeah. I'm hopeful he can do 100. Yeah. I looked at him for fantasy, but I didn't think of him much as a SuperCoach pick. I wouldn't highly recommend it. I'm just sort of going for it because I'm hoping the run's nice, and I'm thinking to 100 plus a good buy and low break even. James Sicily, I never really thought about Dacos until like 2 weeks ago as well, so you shouldn't really go for plays you didn't really want 2 weeks ago in terms of premiums. Sicily's a weird one where I think it's just form. I think he'll be fine, but a lot of chefs back there now. Amon, battle scoring, Scrimshaw can score. So I think he's like absolute best case, probably 105 with Sicily, like it was with Amon when he moved to defense late a few years ago. And Houston's a bit of a weird one. Same with Ryan, like new game plan / new system, not sure. So look, these are probably the top 4. Ash could be in there too, I don't know. And then throw a blanket over guys that you hope can do 100 plus. So in terms of mids, now mids is interesting because we want Bont. And here's the thing, you have to have Bont, you have to have Butters at some point. Like the gap between Nas and Sinclair, say they do like 105 to 110, they might do 10 points ahead of a guy that's doing 95 to 100, like a Josh Dacos, for example. I might lose 10 points a week, whereas Butters and Bont, they can do 125 plus for sure, especially with Butters got tagged quite a bit last year, and it seems to be going to Rosie this year, and it might even go to a Horn Francis at some point. So I think they're both going to do 125 plus, and that's captain scores as well. So yeah, could be 20 points off your M8 against your M8, so that's probably a little too much. So I would go, you need Bont, you need Butters. I don't know how. Find the money. I think you definitely want Andy. Hewitt probably going to skip. I mean, it's hard to deny McLuggage. I mean, McLuggage as a pod should be fine. I think you want Merritt. I tend to go to the guys that have done it before. Took, I don't know. No one really owns Took. Dunkley's it's okay. A lot of chefs. So these are must-haves, I think, and these players below are fill out your last 1 or 2 spots. I think Richard's playing really good football. What's he doing? He's on 110. Pretty much what he did last year when he was on 90% CBAs. Yeah, I mean, Anderson should be okay. He's done it before. Tag might go to Rao. Like, green should be fine. Just can be a bit frustrating. I think I'm going to put nil in this bracket. Puts the wrong there for now. I didn't even forgot defenders as well. Rosie is probably in the bracket, in the Nas Sinclair bracket, I think. One bad game, but he's been really good. Ashcroft. Dawson. I've missed Dacos, haven't I? So these are I think these are the 6 you want, and then you fill your last 2 spots with 2 of these guys. Look, you could go LDU, like he can do it. I don't know. Took, I don't know, maybe. Hewitt, sure, why not? I'll put McLuggage at the top here. Scottish suitcase, Hugh McLuggage. So that's the way I see it. Get these 6 and then fill your last 2 spots with these guys. Maybe there's a bit of a difference between... I'm not even sure Sarong belongs on this list the way he's been going, but I think he's too proud of a player and too determined to not respond. And yeah, whoever's cheap, just grab him. In terms of rucks, gone. Sherry, pretty easy. Be interesting to see how Gorn goes post-buy, because his post-buys have been worse than his pre-buys. I guess that can happen with age and wear and tear. Who's your third? TDK makes me a little bit nervous just because he's never done it for a full season. It could be Meek, could be English, who's improved a lot. He's had some poor games, but it feels like he's been averaging... Yeah, his last 5's been good, but a few bad ones early is hurting his average. So we'll see. And then whoever, I don't know. Fill another ruck. Meek, English, TDK, Darcy Cameron, whoever. And then forwards, pretty self-explanatory. So we all have McRae, we all have Baz. I would get Rankin. I can't believe Rankin's been sub 500 for so long. Or around that 500 mark. So that's 3. Horne-Francis 4. Petrarca 5. And then it's probably Warner 6. And then Marich and Daniel as other guys there. Nick Martin could be thereabouts based on his post by last year. Just sort of hard to do 105 plus in that sort of role. Like, you need to play unbelievable. So I'll probably have Martin in the Daniel Marich bucket, maybe. I think he can probably do above that, but yeah, I think Warner can do with this high CBA role. So look, I don't even need to list that. Probably respect to Matt Kennedy, he's been great. So as well, and Jackson, if he solos at some point, it's probably in there too. So I don't really need to write that down. In terms of hold or sell, and in terms of rookies and mid prices or whatever, can you sell Bice? Yes. Can he bounce back? Yes. But if you get a really good premium, then you're happy either way. I think he can hold or sell. I'm holding this week. Probably going to offload next week. Zach Reed, obviously a hold with -3 break even. Pryor, if you have him, sell. Carroll's a hold. Whoever else down back you have. Yeah, whoever. So Husper, obviously a buy this week. Lindsay, people might want to, like, yeah, I've looked at my team. I'm like, I don't want to cut Lever. I don't want to cut Reed. I don't actually want to cut Flynn, to be honest. I'm looking to Lindsay, and I'm thinking he's still got a bit of money to make, and his job security is really good. So you do worry if they just like sub-manage him. He did have the limited preseason, so I'll hold for at least one more, and then kind of just see where the break-even is, and you know, look at everybody else who can go, who cannot go. But yeah, not a priority out at all. So I'd like to keep holding. Hewitt, if you have him, you're very happy. If you went him over Gross, I think Gross was 119, Hewitt was 150, and just a bit of a sliding doors moment there. Trying to think who are the other rooks. Murphy Reed can go. How much Pepper? That's a forward line. Showdown is probably going to get suspended, so I'd probably sell. You can sell, you can hold for one, it's whatever. But 400k, like, he did his job pretty damn well. Archer Reed can go. If you have him, I guess Chera spoke about him, training him. You can definitely hold, and yeah, look, he's had 2 down ones. So when a player that's averaging over 100 has 2 down ones, he's going to bounce back. Happens every time. So not really one I'm that keen to sell, but the way I'm thinking is I just trying to make progress with the team, trying to get end of season keepers and sort of following break evens. It's less to do with Chera's break even and more to do with Chad Warner's break even, because I don't really want to pay $550 for Chad Warner. Like, I need this money to pay for Bont and Butters, Merritt, Whitfield, Gorn. Like, how's that happening? That's fantasy stuff at this point. So that's that. Stone I'm going to keep as a loop, plus he's been very useful. I sent him down back last week. He's coming back in the forward line this week for upgrades. So just going to keep him as that loop, and hopefully he randomly comes back. But if Fonte's playing well, can't really see a spot for him. Levi's probably more interesting. I don't think he's a sell this week, but next week he's got North this week, and then he's got Melbourne, so Gabba as well. We do need his money, but we also like him on the field. So, I mean, his scores have been really good lately. Oh, okay, 99, 89, 90, 87. So 4 of the last 5 above 87. You can't really sell this. I still got a bit of money to make, and he's good to watch too. Works hard along that wing. Marriage, obviously a hold. Is Marriage a keeper? I don't know. We'll find out. He has 3 extremely good matchups: Richmond, St Kilda, and Adelaide. I think they're green for defenders at this point. Adelaide's definitely green because I know we've conceded a lot to, like, a Whitfield. Rioli went like 160 on us, so a few others went really well on us. So he's definitely a hold. Cleary has more money to make, so the obvious hold as well. And I guess Flynn, I'm actually in the hold camp here because he's averaging 96, and if you look at his scoring, yes, he got killed by Wits, but he still scored 87. He lost to Sherry in preseason and still turned up. Like, these, apart from getting annihilated by Max, and yeah, Max speaks for himself of how good he is, the scores are good. 87, 141, 105. And Nank gives up points. His around the groundwork is okay. Yeah, like, he does look uncompetitive at times, or it's certainly in round 1 and this round in the ruck. But hey, these guys are really good rucks. So if he holds, I'm holding. If not, I'll need to figure something. I'll need a 1 up, 1 down Flynn and Bice. So still think we can squeeze a bit more money out of him. And yeah, there's still a chance he can do 95 plus. He's been an 85 plus guy in the past, but given what we've seen this year, he could possibly do 90 plus. Marshall's not the greatest hit at ruckman, so I think that's 2 decent matchups. Rob is a little bit restrictive, it seems. Then he's got Geelong, so he could hold to around 12. Got Sherry, that's when you sell. I would like to hold Flynn. Because there's 50s in his system, yeah, he's kind of killed his like decent money making potential. So next 2 weeks, it's going to hurt the break even, but it's how it goes. So hopefully that was at all helpful. But yeah, should be good. So thanks for watching, and yeah, good luck this week. Not gonna lie, a little bit in terms of like doing midweek videos and stuff, kind of checked out a little bit, mostly because teams sort of in a spot where we can probably get a decent rank, but we can't do any significant damage to the top ranks. So we'll definitely need to do a lessons video soon, and sort of work our way back and look at our trades and what went wrong, what went right. Probably prefer to focus on what went wrong, so that way we can learn lessons a bit better. So, but also what went right and what we can carry into next year too. That's it from me. Cinque.